Xander Schauffele with back-to-back 7 under 63s as he surges at TPC River Highlands. He's got a 5-shot lead on a pack of 5 golfers that includes last year's winner Harris English and world number 6 Patrick Cantlay. And you're like, well, where's Rory McIlroy? Wasn't he in the lead yesterday with JT Poston? And you see JT Poston right there at 8 under. Well, Rory's also at 8 under. They made no progress, either JT Poston or Rory McIlroy, who's number 2 in the world. That's because Rory had an 8 on a par 4. Like, he looked like maybe you or I putting a snowman on your scorecard, because it happens. Usually doesn't happen to one of the best in the world, but it happened on this day, and Rory does not make up any ground. He is 6 shots back of Xander Schauffele, number 15 in the world. And for once, welcome in Sportsline data scientist and the host of First Cut Podcast, Rick Gehman. World number 2, Rory McIlroy, entered round 2 in the lead, cruising along until 12. Wayward drive out of bounds, took a penalty, re-teed, then into the rough. Cards a quadruple bogey on 12, then a double on 15, a chip into the water. What the heck happened?
This was bizarre, Hakeem. You mentioned it. He was rolling. He was 5 under through 11. It was looking like it was going to be a 2-horse race between Rory McIlroy and Xander Schauffele. Rory had that little bounce in his step. All was good. Then he steps on the tee box at 12, hits one OB, sprays one right on his second drive, kind of fails to get up and down from greenside when he would eventually get there. And when it's all said and done, it is a quad, an 8 on a par 4. And I think even more concerning is he kind of did the same thing on 15. He sprays one way right. He then has to play it backwards. He sculls one over the green into the water. I mean, it was just a really, really ugly stretch of holes from Rory McIlroy, and he gives up 5 shots back to the field over the course of his last 7 holes. It's almost unbelievable. You know, if he came into this week and struggled, all day Thursday, all day Friday, I could have given him a pass for that. He's been carrying a lot of the weight of the PGA Tour for the last couple weeks. This is one of the few times in his career that he's played 4 consecutive weeks. So there could have been an easy letdown, but he was going so well for the vast majority of his first 2 rounds, and for it to just kind of flip on a dime and he starts to post some big numbers. It was just a really bizarre sequence of events that we do not see from Rory McIlroy very often.
Well, if Xander Schauffele continues to play the way he's playing, no one's going to catch him. But if he maybe comes back down to earth, Rory, who's 6 shots off the pace, has a chance. Because Rory's miscues opening the door for world number 15, Xander Schauffele, followed up a bogey-free 7 under 63 with another bogey-free 7 under 63. It's rinse and repeat here. Leads the way at 14 under, sizzling there in Cromwell, Connecticut. What have you seen from Xander through the first 2 rounds?
Flawless golf out there from Xander Schauffele. You mentioned it, back-to-back bogey-free rounds. He's the only guy in the field who's played the first 36 without a blemish on the card. He also hit all 18 greens on Thursday. So Xander is certainly feeling himself, and he should be. And that's why he's got that 5-shot lead. Now, I guess it's worth noting a few things. Xander has never closed out a 36-hole individual lead. He did at the Zurich Classic with Patrick Cantlay, but I think that is kind of a testament to the fact that there is still 36 holes to go. This is going to be very difficult when you realize that we've seen multiple shot leads disappear in the blink of an eye over the course of much fewer holes than just 36 that we have here. And then Xander Schauffele, for all of the great things that have gone on with his resume, doesn't have a lot of full field PGA Tour individual wins. He's got basically everything besides that. He won the Shadow Leaderboard at the Tour Championship. He has the Olympics gold medal. He's got all these smaller field wins, but this one would be pretty important, I think. It would certainly be an opportunity for him to silence some of the critics if he could get one done in this format.
Looking for his first individual win on the PGA Tour in 3 years. Schauffele has a 5-shot lead on a group of 5 players that includes last year's winner Harris English and world number 6 Patrick Cantlay, his teammate in that victory in the Zurich Classic earlier this year. Who's a player in the chase pack that you'd like to make a move on Saturday?
Yeah, so I think there's 2 guys that I'll keep an eye on. Cam Davis has the firepower at the top to really contend here, but if you go further down the board, you'll find Davis Riley. And Hakeem, Davis Riley is not going to win this golf tournament. He is much too far back, but I would be very surprised if Davis Riley does not make a move on the weekend up this leaderboard. He has been phenomenal since the Zurich Classic. He has been posting basically top 15 finishes each and every week. What I've seen from him over the first 36 holes is a golfer who is striping it in the two ball striking categories, and he's like 3 strokes below his own expectation with the putter. So even if he just gets back to putting like his baseline, not even putting well, it's likely that Davis Riley moves up the leaderboard. So probably too far back at this point, but there's still a lot of FedEx Cup points. There's still a lot of money on the line, and Davis Riley has a lot to play for with 36 to go.
Last year, Harris English defeated Kramer Hickok in an 8-hole playoff to win the Travelers Championship. Perhaps another playoff this year. Rick, who's your pick to win this year at TPC River Highlands?
Yeah, so with Xander Schauffele out in front, it provides a lot of really good value for the rest of the field. Patrick Cantlay is the guy that I have my eyes on. He's been great at TPC River Highlands. It's not a huge ask for Xander to come back to this field. It's unlikely he wins this thing by 5 or 10 shots. And if he does come back, it's Cantlay that's going to be lurking. We've seen his putter, that flat stick right there, get absolutely white hot for extended periods of time. And I don't even think it needs to get white hot over the final 36 because the rest of his game has been pretty sharp. And Patrick Cantlay has been piling up victories and playing well at basically every PGA Tour event outside of major championships for going on 2 years. And I don't think Cantlay is going to be quiet over the weekend in Connecticut.
Well, Xander Schauffele, the favorite, obviously, at -14. He is -110 going into the weekend. Patrick Cantlay at +750. Quite a drop off there in the odds. And then it's Rory right behind Patrick Cantlay at +800. Perhaps he rallies from a 6-shot deficit going into the weekend. Rick Gehman, break it down for us here on CBS Sports HQ. Rick, thanks. And for more awesome golf content, join Rick Gehman and his crew on the First Cut podcast. You'll get tournament previews, including DFS picks and analysis. You also get round-by-round reaction to each PGA Tour event, including this one, the TPC River Highlands Travelers Championship. The First Cut podcast. Download and subscribe today.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.